going to our reference case, which is the story of Deaconess Yemi Awol Lala. That's the woman from Kaduna State. She actually used a knife to stab a 14-year-old girl. This was just July 12th, a few days ago. And thank God the police is on this case. But what was more painful was that she was supposed to be taking care of this child. She's a deaconess in the church.
She's a deaconess, so...
It all goes back to that anger management.
The painful part of that story was that the girl, as soon as she was brought to the house, was relegated to the toilet, given a cup to drink from the toilet.
Hey.
Separated from the children and only called out when they needed to use her as was she sold into slavery? In Nigeria, we are complaining about what is happening in Lebanon and the Middle East by another Nigerian. The truth is, if you know yourself, you know you're a bit temperamental, don't take somebody in. It's not difficult. I usually, when I'm angry, when I feel like smacking somebody else's child, say to the child, go into your house. I say that. So my husband will say, no, let her stay. I'll say, she has to leave now.
No. Put this knife on a hot plate. Hot. Now put something on the poor girl's face.
What does that? Was the crime. Because even public mobbing of a criminal sin and caught in the act is not as bad as what this poor girl has gone through.
For you to be in that position in church and have the mind to treat a human being like that, there's something wrong. I think she should be mentally evaluated.
When the faith is not in your heart, it is on the face of you.
There's another angle I would like us to touch on. The fact that when you feel you're coming from a privileged home, you're rich, you have the affluence, and something happens to maybe a distant cousin or an uncle, maybe they are in the village or something happens, and then the children have to come to the city to live with you. So you're bringing in nephews, long-distance cousins, staying with you, and then you begin to treat them differently because in your own mind, they don't eat 3 times a day.
So why would they come?
They don't eat chicken every time. Exactly. Oh, now come and start eating. What is that nonsense? Let them not think as if it is free of charge here in the city. So in your own house, what you cook for them, what you cook for your family, you take the basmati rice.
That's how you teach the child how to steal.
And then you,
That's how you teach the child how to steal. Because what I'm looking at, I'm longing for. The day you're not at home,
I'll take it. Let me sense
people. That's what you see the life they are shopping. Let me shop my own. And then you come and you say the child has stolen. Because the truth is, some things, when you take them far from these people, that's the reaction you get is different.
I have seen situations where a family had the burden of taking care of more children. So in their household, they had about 13 people. And I knew that the family, they were pretty modest and it wasn't easy. So when they cook, for example, so chicken was luxury. So fish now is something that everybody cooks. So what I observed that the woman used to do then was that when she makes fish, like maybe the regular fish, for the whole house, now she can now make a pot of chicken where herself and her husband is for them. It's just me and my husband. My children plus the other children, everybody go and eat fish. But there's always that privacy in your bedroom. You and your husband, you have like 10 pieces of chicken, both of you are
hanging. The children need the chicken more now.
No, hanging there. No, I'm just talking about
growing up
now. Growing up.
For their brain.
So the children of your own actual children, they are the ones that are allowed to come into the inner room, which is your own private space. They now come in and take a piece of chicken because you're eating chicken with your husband. They now go downstairs with that piece of chicken and they eat the chicken. The other children now feel like, so you got chicken.
You got chicken.
So there's that issue. You see, I'm telling you a real life story that happened.
Let me give you this instance. There was a time I hosted a friend of mine. And then for me, I started learning some things early. And I was able to apply them. But then my husband was in a different space. And so while he was eating, after the kids had eaten, the children came to the room, they saw him eating, and they took the stuff he was eating and they went out. They had friends over, and then they were eating, and then the friends were looking. So I noticed that, and I came to my husband. I said, you know we have visitors. You cannot, he said, they are my children. You cannot afford to give your children and not give them. It doesn't matter if everybody has eaten. You don't do that. So the remaining one, go and share it outside. And I was like, but I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't give them what they took it. I said, I know. But you need to pay attention to be sensitive to the people around you. So what she would have done in that case is to ensure that even if the children eat the chicken, they will eat it in that room.
But what are you now teaching the children? What are you teaching them? No, you sit down here.
Understand something. She's already eating the chicken with her husband.
Yes.
Do you want to stop her? She has done it already.
No.
And the children come in and insist they're going to eat chicken. And trust me, you know how men are. They will say, give them. It's we that are the strict ones. They'll say, give them.
What would you say in that
situation? The only thing she could have done is to make sure eat it here and leave this place. Don't take it out.
What would you do?
Once such thing is arriving in my house, I'm the madam, I'll take over everything.
Your husband is eating the chicken.
I do that. I control it. I will lock it up. When everybody has gone, I'll bring it. Let me give you a personal story. My daughter has a bike, and I always learn this thing from what my mom and my dad used to talk about his mom, because it was a polygamous setting, and she had gone home with her first child, went with a walker from Lagos, they bought all the toys. And my mother, the moment my mother brought it, my grandmother said, take it back in.
Till
there
they
are
go.
many children here. If you don't want to cry that children spoil it, and or that they cannot climb it, don't beat anybody's child for using it. So take it inside.
Take it inside.
So that's the principle I use. I told my daughter, your bicycles are outside. Whenever you are riding, everybody that wants to ride must be able to ride it.
They will.
If you will not ride it, lock it, let all of us be looking at it there.
All right.